Hey guys, how's it going? I am WWE Hall of Famer Lita, welcoming you to General Admission Wrestling.
Gentlemen, really nice to meet you. My name is Chris. Look, first of all, I've loved being down here, and thank you two, so much for, making me feel welcome and everything. I obviously didn't come through here, but I spent a lot of time in Atlanta back in the day, so it's nice to see what you guys have done with this facility. But I wanted to talk to you guys in particular because, I've been watching every week, and one thing that I've really noticed is that for you two, I feel like, I don't want to say it's a confidence issue, but I think that there's been a lot of attention paid to other people and not so much on Chris Alexa and Marlon Wright. And I just want to make sure that you guys know that should not bother you in any way. It reminds me a lot when Alex Shelley and I were coming up, there was a lot of talk about other people. There was the AJ Styles of the world. There was the James Storms of the world. There was the Bobby Roodes of the world that got all of this attention. And people just didn't really talk about, Sabin and Shelley. People didn't, talk about what we were trying to do. And the Motor City Machine Guns happened, and we were so lucky to, be able to turn that into what it was. So, I just want to tell you guys that whatever people are saying, they just don't have the perspective on what could happen in the future. Two guys that get together that have a lot of chemistry, that can really change the way that things are done. A lot of people just don't have a concept of what that change can look like. So for you two, just think about it and remember, no matter how much attention you're getting, and even if this competition doesn't go your way, just know that what you're doing right now has no bearing on what you're going to be doing 10, 15 years in the future. So I've been loving watching you guys. Hopefully I'll hear from you guys pretty soon.
Pocket full of them bad, cause I be killing it. Play around with them bad, cause I be killing it. I don't think I stand, cause I be killing it. I take your girl, cause I be killing it. Pocket full of them bad, cause I be killing it. I be killing it. Play around with them bad, cause I be killing it.
We are very happy to welcome the Intercontinental Champion Chris Sabin here to Atlanta. He's been hanging out all day talking with the rookies. And you just saw his conversation with Chris Alexa and Marlon Wright. And there are very few men who carry more weight around here than a Chris Sabin. Folks, welcome to Rookie of the Year, live from Atlanta. 2 weeks left in the competition, so you can call this moving day, as we have so many matches absolutely crucial to the standings. So here's a look at the standings currently. 3 men tied with 15 points, 3 men tied with 12 points. And a reminder, the top 7 seeds after the 10 matches of the competition are done will automatically qualify for the single elimination knockout stage. Numbers 8, 9, and 10 will go into a 3-way dance to qualify to be the last man in. So as of right now, you've got 3 men battling for 6th place on 12 points. You've got Dorian Bush sitting in 9th with 9 points, and you've got Chris Alexa and Marlon Wright battling for 10th with 6 points each. Bottom 2, of course, get eliminated, which right now Dr. Plague has some major ground to make up. We'll see him later on taking on the red-hot Ryan Skinner. 5 straight wins for the number 1 pick. Adonis Carter in sole possession of 2nd place with 18 points. Wolf Stormsong hot on his trail, along with Leon Redgrave and Ryan Skinner with 15. Takahashi will take on Chris Alexa later tonight. He can lock up 1st place depending on how results go in this match. If Adonis Carter were to lose and Takahashi were to win, that would lock in Takahashi as the #1 seed. It's been a wire-to-wire first place for Takahashi in this competition. Wolf Stormsong trying to create some separation away from Leon Redgrave and Ryan Skinner. With those 15 points, and Stormsong has been one of the most underrated, one of the most under-talked about stories of Rookie of the Year so far. And right now's the time for him to really go and grab a win. Again, only 3 points separate Stormsong in 3rd and Dash Foley in 8th. That's how narrow the margins are here. Carter going after Stormsong. So the tiebreaker will be head-to-head record, but if we have a 3-way tie, or if the wrestlers, look at that, Carter's gonna fly, beautiful. If the wrestlers did not meet head-to-head in the competition, then they will have a match. Carter charges up the 450. So that will take place next week, right after the competition is wrapped up. We'll get to the standings, and if we do have a situation that I just described, then we will get the matches straight away. So next week could be one of the most epic days in GAW history. Only 2 matches to go. Stormsong turning his back on Carter, trying to intimidate him. Carter not gonna have it, knife edge chop. Stormsong ducked the kick and answers back. You can see Cedric outside watching. Stormsong starches Carter with the thrust kick, no! Carter fires his shoulder up, but he could be in trouble already. Stormsong pulls him in. Carter able to play defense, beautiful. Satan Cedric loves it. High velocity neck breaker. Stormsong, what an answer by Carter. And now more could be coming. We know how Carter can get things charged up. Here it is, pump handle. Carter, Chicago masterclass. Yes, it is from Carter, and Adonis Carter keeps pace. What a stellar competition for Adonis Carter. And that is so well done. Carter keeps pace with Takahashi, who, as I said, will be facing Chris Alexa later on tonight.
Yeah, should've shown me the product, we could've did it. Everything all crazy and some get it. And I just wanna move on and not regret it. But the past is too dark, I just kept getting. Securing the nails in the coffin. I don't get this feeling too often. You made me this way, I was off it. I'm done now with this.
Look at this. It's team captain Kurt Andrews. He just watched his top prospect pick up the win over Stormsong. But now Andrews, who is the new #1 contender for Derek Cole's Apex Championship, he'll be preparing for that title match at Battle at Broadway in 2 weeks. I wonder what he's out here to address the whole fans about. Adonis, congratulations, my son. I knew from moment 1 that you would be the best prospect in this competition, which is why I made you my pick. And I want to say that for all of you in Atlanta, you are looking at a future Apex champion. It's Kurt Andrews, baby. Because I'm headed in to Battle at Broadway in 2 weeks to win that title. So all of my men on Team Andrews are clearly watching a legend in the making as I prepare to win my 3rd Apex Championship. And as for Derek Cole, you better watch your back. And I don't mean from me. I don't need the cheap tactics. I'm Kurt Andrews, one of the greatest there's ever been. And I'm just being modest. Really, I'm the greatest. I mean, this bounty that everyone's talking about. Now, obviously, Kurt Andrews doesn't need the money, but TJ Frost clearly did. Chandler Marcy clearly did. Ulysses Sky clearly did. Who else might need that money, I wonder? And who might be the one who's offering up the cash? It's not me. I do have the money, but I wouldn't pay it to anyone for this. Not for a match I could win with my eyes closed. So I want you all to be prepared for the reality that when Kurt Andrews returns for Rookie of the Year for the single elimination knockout, that I will be the Apex Champion. And for my team, it means that there are some lofty heights that you all have to confront, knowing that the 3-time Apex Champion. Hey, Kurt, I'm gonna let you finish, man. But I just want to say this. I want to say this about Adonis Carter. I want to say this coming from all of Team Andrews, because I've been spending more time around them than you have. I understand how they think. Good luck against Derek Cole. I can say that all of us are hoping that you win the Apex Championship at Battle at Broadway. I really do. And specifically from me and Adonis, we absolutely hope that you walk away with that championship, Kurt. Good luck, my man. But I'm going to tell you why. Because it is just going to make it sweeter when Adonis Carter wins that championship like his mama said he was going to, and become the greatest champion in the entire world. That is this boy's destiny. And you want to come out here and you want to put him down. You want to make this about yourself. But this is about Adonis Carter. This is about the rookies. So go win that championship. Good luck, Kurt. But when you come back, you better get ready. It's Adonis Carter. It's Ryan Skinner. It's Leon Redgrave. Those are the guys that are stepping up against you when you win that title. Thanks. I appreciate that, Satan. Good luck with the rest of the competition. And to Derek Cole, one last message to you. You see the support that I have behind me. You see the base that I have. I don't think you have the same. I don't think your men's loyalty has been tested like my men's have. Look, man, I know that the fans' reaction to me hasn't exactly been as warm as I might have expected, but that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, and I have mine, and the fans have theirs. That's all right. But the one thing that I wanted to keep in mind during this whole thing is that this isn't about them. This is about me trying to realize my dreams, and I do have a lot of support, and I'm endlessly thankful for the guys that I've gotten to spend time with, and Team Hernandez, and everyone that's helped me out. So the fans like me and the fans don't like me. It doesn't really matter. I have a job to do, and tonight my job is Leon Redgrave. I know that where I am in the standings has not been what I've planned at this point in the competition, but I have the best opportunity of the competition so far to try to make that statement. And against Leon Redgrave, that's exactly what I plan on doing. I know how good he is, I know how dangerous he is, but I also know that Adonis Carter took care of him last week, and I've obviously beaten Adonis, so I know what that game is about. I know how to beat Leon Redgrave, and that's exactly what I plan on doing. And so if you're out there, if you're watching, if maybe you didn't know what to think about Dorian Wayne Bush, then all I ask is just look at me now, and look what I'm about to do to Leon Redgrave, and maybe you'll change your mind. Well, Dorian Bush has certainly made a career in this tournament of upsetting some of the best that we have. He beat Adonis Carter. He beat Ryan Skinner. I mean, this is the kind of guy who can absolutely do some damage. So I think for everyone else, for all of the other men in the single elimination round, they're kind of hoping that Dorian doesn't make it. That's a Lee Carr situation waiting to happen. I hesitate to bring up that name, but it's certainly, you can't deny the similarities.
You think you're stuck to take advantage, and you always took my humbleness for granted. But I know my worth, you can't take that away from me. And I know you think you're stuck to take advantage, but it hasn't worked out like you fucking planned.
So depending on results here today, we could see some major movement in the lower part of the standings around that 7-8 position. In the main event, we're going to see Franky Omega Jr. versus Dash Foley. So that's a battle of two men sitting on 12 points. And then, of course, we will also see Raymond Church a little bit later on. He will take on Marlon Wright. So potentially, Dorian Bush can get himself tied with Church and Foley with 1 week to go. And that would be right around the 7th position. This is a huge match for Dorian. For Leon, there is a little bit less on the line now, especially since Wolf Stormsong lost earlier to Adonis Carter that we just saw. But don't think that means for a second that Redgrave will not be going 100%. I don't know if he knows another way to do it. I think this man eats his cereal with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. Dorian, beautiful tornado off the springboard, and he caught the leg. That's the athleticism we expect. No! He hasn't been able to put it all together, but in my opinion, he's almost like a Ryan Skinner just a few weeks behind. He is so versatile. He can do so many things, just like Skinner. But the trick is, can he figure out a way to put all of those things together, all of the qualities that he excels at? Skinner has figured that out, and now, of course, Skinner has won 5 matches in a row. Dorian might just be behind slightly on that. He's gonna fly with the frog splash. 1 minute in, you can see how much this match means for Dorian and how close he might come to not even making the three-way dance should he lose here. Beautiful snapmare takedown, the hip toss rather, by Leon Redgrave, and just grinding the neck forward. Dorian able to free himself. Great work by our camera crew down there. But now Redgrave has got him powerbomb position, and he's gonna get him into that package. Redgrave, London Bridge with the bridge. Redgrave, yes! Dorian started off so hot, but Redgrave was just too much for Dorian Wade Bush, and now Dorian could be in serious trouble. You are looking at a man who now needs results to go his way to get into the single elimination round with just 1 week of competition remaining. Hey, Kurt, you want to tell me what the hell that was about earlier? We are here to train the next generation. You're making this thing all about yourself for a match you're going to have in 2 weeks. You can do all that shit on Evolution. Why are you coming here? And not even to your team, it's to all of the fans in Atlanta. How arrogant, how self-absorbed can you possibly be? We got 2 weeks left. There are guys here who feel like their careers are on the line by what's going on, and you decide to start talking to Derek Cole. Are you done? Are you done? Here's a reason why I did it. Because I am a superstar. I am inspiration for my entire locker room, that they too one day can win a championship match. And as long as it's not me holding it, they can go ahead and win the championship. So yes, it's extremely important that they see what you can be in GAW, even if for many of them it won't ever happen. You are a disgusting human being, like a truly, truly revolting person. Yeah, you would say that. Hey, maybe you should look over your shoulder. I noticed that there's been nothing from you and Park about the Demon Wolves. I saw them on Monday. I know you did too. You feeling scared about them, Eddie? Do you feel like maybe your titles could be lost? Or do you feel secretly that another team that's actually focused on those tag team championships should take them from you? Because you feel deep down in your soul that no one gives a damn about the Evolution Tag Team Championships anymore because no one cares about you and you don't care about them. Okay. All right, I see how it is. You know what, Eddie? I'm going to tell you something. Just between the two of us. When I win the Apex Championship from Derek Cole, I'll give you a shot at the title. I do. I will. I respect you. But only if Team Hernandez ends up winning Rookie of the Year. If one of your guys wins, I'll give you a shot at my title. That's the best security measure I could possibly have. Adonis Carter's gonna win this thing. Please.
I got a bottle of Patron and some lights off. Two red devil looking eyeballs. And I finna turn up when the night
I'm glad someone around here is putting Kurt Andrews in his place. But that'll just give a little bit of an extra wrinkle to the Rookie of the Year tournament right now. If Kurt Andrews does go on to win the title, which at this point I doubt. I think 1-1, him versus Cole. There is no one better on earth than Derek Cole right now. But if Kurt Andrews does pull something off and wins the championship, you're looking at potentially a story here with Eddie Hernandez. Not that Eddie needs any more motivation to try to will someone from his team to win this competition. It just adds another wrinkle to what we're doing. Raymond Church, one of 3 men with 12 points. The other 2 will be facing each other in the main event. Franky Omega Jr. versus Dash Foley. So Church can either get some separation here or he can put himself in a very dangerous position with a loss. We already saw it happen to Dorian Bush. At this point, every win, every loss matters. We've already seen it. Leon Redgrave has gotten separation. Adonis Carter has gotten separation. We'll see Takahashi later. And Raymond Church, this is a massive opportunity for him to get separation. And you know Dorian watching this with bated breath as well. Dorian has his eyes on this because Marlon Wright tied with Chris Alexa currently for 10th place. Both men have 6 points. So if Marlon was to lose here and Alexa facing tall odds to go up against Takahashi later on, if both of them were to lose, then that puts Dorian Bush in a near guaranteed spot, at least in the 3-way dance, and maybe with room to move into that 7th place. We'll see what happens with the matches still to come. So Dorian, this could be Dorian's entire competition right here. If Marlon Wright wins, it becomes much more difficult for Dorian Bush. This match obviously has huge implications for both of these men as well, and for Marlon Wright, he still has a 3-point buffer over Dr. Plague, who has to go up against the hottest man in the competition right now in Ryan Skinner. Church, knee strike, 1 count. But for next week, Marlon Wright has to go up against Adonis Carter. Chris Alexa has to go up against Leon Redgrave. Dorian Bush goes against Wolf Stormsong. So obviously, if you are Marlon Wright, you are looking at an incredibly difficult match next week against Carter, especially considering what might happen in Takahashi's match later. Shining Wizard from Church. Cross arm breaker applied from the man who's been all over GAW in the last number of weeks. He's tried to make a case to team with the tag team legend Lighter, He's tried to make a case to join the Gotti crime family. He got absolutely destroyed by Dash Foley. This guy's been everywhere. But right now, he has got to focus on what he's doing in this competition because he might be in trouble if Marlon Wright grabs the win. And now Wright lighting up the chest. Big clubbing strikes from Wright, who, talking to Kurt Andrews, has said that Wright has improved most with his striking. You know, he comes in as a great athlete, a very good grappler, but his striking has significantly improved. Of course, Kurt Andrews would attribute that to working with him. I think that would be probably more attributable to working with Leon Redgrave, one of the best strikers in this competition. But Wright's gonna have to use that here against Church. Wright's gonna take to the skies. Tope con hilo. Marlon Wright. Again, that's the striking game for you in Church. Now he's got to be doubting. Now he's got to be thinking about it. Oh! Wright has just taken complete control of this match. Church able to fire back. Big strike to the knee. But still can't get anything. And Wright with the face buster. The flatliner. Wright just lays him out and again into those steel steps. This is a different Marlon Wright than we've seen in this competition so far. Only 2 wins for Marlon. But he is looking, this is the best I have seen him in Rookie of the Year. More strikes from Wright. Heel kick upwards. Church got up, Church has to fight up off his back. He does. Now sends Wright across, and Raymond Church has to get back into the ring and away from the Marlon Wright assault. Church into his own corner, Wright almost stalking him, and look at this, Marlon Wright, now he's just playing mind games. Raymond Church, he's gonna fly, missile drop kick, Wright saw it all the way. Church got angry. Raymond Church, he was seeing red, and Marlon Wright expected it. You want to see improvement across the competition. Marlon Wright has done it. Church, now you can see the anger. It's boiling over as Raymond Church, cross arm breaker, trying to get this submission on the outside. It obviously wouldn't count. But the anger of Raymond Church starting to boil over, and now Wright again lights him up with the strikes. More ground and pound. Church able to get his hands up in a defensive posture, but he can do nothing against Marlon Wright at the moment. Wright has left him laid out and again breaks the count. I think Marlon Wright's been working with Kurt Andrews, and certainly Wright's conversation with Chris Sabin earlier means that, oh, he caught Church. Wright's conversation with Chris Sabin might have turned something around for him. We are certainly looking at a different Marlon Wright than what we've seen in the past. The fans getting into it. Obviously, the Atlanta faithful, not a huge fan of Raymond Church. And really, why would you be? Right on the outside. Oh! That's all midsection right against the steel barricade. Church. Now Church answers back, and Raymond Church throws Wright into the ring. Church has got to do something. He has just taken a hellacious assault from Marlon Wright. Church, basement flatliner. Able to open something up, and maybe now is not the time here, Raymond. He's been absolutely killed today. Now another cross arm breaker, and this time Marlon Wright was at the ropes immediately. Church now just taunting the fans, if anything. Not happy with the way they were cheering him getting his butt whipped for about 5 minutes of this match. But Church now in the ring. He's got something going. Power bomb. Church turns him around. Click, clack. It's Raymond Church. And just like that, Church has an opening. Raymond Church. After all of that, Raymond Church somehow pulls this thing out, antagonizing the fans, and Church beating up right after the match. That is disgusting. Raymond Church. That is just gross. After what he's done, the boos rain down. And Marlon Wright did such a good job in this match. This is not how it should have ended for him tonight. Well, now this is an interesting position for Dr. Plague after watching that match, Church versus Wright. You've got Wright still with 6. Chris Alexa will be the heavy underdog against Takahashi later. And Alexa might end up with 6. So for Dr. Plague, if he's able to get 6, well now we're looking at a totally different situation for Dr. Plague. We could have a 3-way tie for the final qualification spot, depending on how things go. So Dorian again, he's got to be happy with the result he just saw. And at this point, the only men worried about this result at the moment are Wright and Alexa. For Skinner, he seems to be pretty safe, depending on the results coming up later. But also for Dr. Plague, you got to remember, Ryan Skinner is the hottest man in this competition. 5 straight wins, and he has looked unbeatable during that stretch. Sight this is. Both men whose looks are obviously very similar. But for Skinner, it just hits a little bit different watching him come out here. Listen to the music ring, the light of the lantern, and knowing that the man that you have in front of you has been undefeated over his last 5. The only man who can say that. Not Takahashi, not Adonis Carter, not Leon Redgrave. It's Ryan Skinner, who now is looking to keep pace and cement his place in the automatic qualification zone. Because there is a scenario where Skinner loses his next 2, ends with 15 points, and gets forced down into 8th place. There is a scenario where that happens. So this match still means something for Ryan Skinner, trying to keep pace with Leon Redgrave, who we saw win earlier, trying to stay 1 win away from Adonis Carter, 2 away as it stands from Takahashi. We'll give you an update on his match with Alexa. But that being said, this match certainly means a little bit more for Dr. Plague, who will be eliminated with a loss. There is a scenario where Dr. Plague does still get up into 10th place, but he would have to win here today. Or rather, if he loses, there's still a scenario, but he would have to win next week, taking on Raymond Church and then hope that Alexa loses today, and then both Alexa and Wright lose next week, and then we would go into a tiebreaker scenario. So at this point, if Plague loses here today, for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much over for him, barring a miracle, which does happen. We've seen it before. And of course, Lee Carr, famously the 15th seed in the Storm Chaser tournament, went on to make the semifinals. So, stranger things have happened. But if you're Dr. Plague, you would much prefer a win here against Skinner. So this was a discussion over in the GAW Discord recently, and if you're not a member, make sure you join right now. Link is in the description. But talking about Dr. Plague and how he has not been as effective as he's wanted to be during this time. You know, despite his size, he's by far the biggest man in the competition. So how has he not been better? And the discussion really was that men like Ryan Skinner have just been more effective. Size is not the issue. It's the versatility. It's the strategy. All of those things that you come in with that Ryan Skinner has been so good at, and so many others. And that's been the difference. Size doesn't mean much. Skinned alive. Ryan Skinner out of absolutely nowhere. Skinner, good night to the good doctor. Skinner makes it 6 straight for the #1 pick, and now it's even more separation. Now Skinner joins Redgrave for 3rd place. And this is a man who, after 3 matches in the competition, was getting worried. He was down at the bottom. He has turned everything around, and now Ryan Skinner looks like he may be the most dangerous man right now. It's another win for Skinner. Make it 6 in a row. Who on earth would want to see Ryan Skinner in the single elimination tournament? Let's go now. Let's show you highlights of Takahashi versus Chris Alexa. This match now for Alexa can basically guarantee his spot in the single elimination knockout round, but unfortunately, he ran into an absolute buzzsaw. Everything he tried to do was ineffective, and when he was able to finally get himself some space, spear attempt, it's the spinning heel kick from Takahashi. He has gotten so many men that way, and Takahashi makes it 8-1, 24 points for the man still in sole control of 1st place. So much is to come in the final week of competition. But before we get you there, our main event is next. Hey man, I'm telling you, just listen to him. Well, I was hesitant at first too, but the dude has some stuff to say, man. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. The facilities that he's got. You walk into this complex, bro. The gym is 10,000 square feet. He's got dudes working. He's got the best coaches in the world. I can't even tell you, man, over the last 3 weeks, I feel like I've trained about a year and a half. I feel like going in there, I couldn't win a goddamn match. Now I feel like nobody can beat me. So just whatever he has to say, man, just listen to him. I saw what you did last week. So I know you're at least thinking about it. So just keep that in your head, bro. If he's looking at you, it means he sees something in you. So just think about it, man. You're making me go to all this trouble to track you down. I literally gotta wait outside the entrance ramp before you go out. Look, Franky, you are not as good as you think you are. I'm sorry I gotta give you some tough love, but this is the reality. You thought you could come in and just beat this whole competition with one eye shut, but you can't do it, man. You see what you've been. So you gotta go for the cheap tactics. You gotta go for the dirty tricks. But a guy like Ryan Skinner's too smart for that. That is what GAW is about. You think that cheap bullshit is gonna beat guys here? No, you gotta be better, Franky. I know what your dad would say to watching you do this. I know what your uncle would say watching you do this. said, no, son, you need to be the best wrestler in this competition. I don't give a damn about all these tricks that you can pull out because it won't work. Not against these guys and not against the guys on Evolution. So you can walk away. You don't have to listen to me. You can do whatever you want. But understand that whatever our issues are, however much I don't respect you and what you've done, if you choose to be here, if you made the decision to try to work your way onto Team Hernandez, then I at least have to tell you this. Just fight like a man. Love from Eddie Hernandez to Franky Omega Jr. Maybe love isn't even the right word, just some toughness shown from team captain Eddie Hernandez, who at this point needs to be thinking that we just saw Takahashi cement his first place standing right now, beating Chris Alexa, but the rest of Team Hernandez is in flux. Stormsong lost, Dorian lost, so he's in trouble, and now Dash Foley going up against Franky Omega Jr. At one point, it seemed like Team Hernandez had 6 men destined for the knockout stage. But at this point, Team Andrews is absolutely soaring up the standings between Adonis Carter. So you look at Team Andrews, Adonis Carter, Leon Redgrave, Ryan Skinner, all picking up wins earlier on today. And Raymond Church. So that's their top 4. The top 4 of Team Andrews all picked up wins earlier. So Team Hernandez is absolutely, or Team Andrews rather, is absolutely flying. Team Hernandez now is the one that has more issues to deal with. Big match for both men. Probably more so for Franky because of the expectations that he had when he cheated his way into this competition. But now everybody, like Eddie said, everybody around the GAW Academy knows what he's about. The wrestlers know. Ryan Skinner knew when he beat him. Even the referees know. You can see how much distance this ref is keeping from Franky Omega. So all he has is his will and skill to beat Dash Foley. Foley's got his own things that might be drawing his attention away from this match. Potential offer from John Gotti and the Gotti crime family. Handspring elbow. And we saw Chandler and Marcy trying to persuade him to consider the offer, maybe join. Now Franky, arm trapped. Northern Lights suplex, and Foley lands right on the arm. 2 count, but that's exactly what Franky wanted. Maybe softening Foley up for the arm collector submission. Now Foley trying to answer back and trying to get some feeling into that left arm. That kind of velocity and all of your body weight going right onto the shoulder. That is not good. That is quite uncomfortable. Foley now measures in for this match. 6'6", a 6'11" wingspan for Foley, one of the longest reaches in this competition. Foley cover and a kick out at 1 from Franky. Now Foley going to fly with a springboard moonsault. Great athlete. You can see he's long and lean. Probably a big reason why John Gotti wanted to bring him along. You figure if Foley builds a little bit of muscle, if he puts some weight on, you are looking at an absolute killer, given his instinct and what we saw. What we saw him do to Raymond Church last week for just trying to get involved with John Gotti, and Foley not even a part of the GCF, at least as far as we know. Foley trying to come in, and Franky just too fast. Big forearm backs Foley up towards the corner, and now Franky picks him up into the cradle position. That's where Foley hits the 6-shooter out of. This time Franky goes turnbuckle toss. Foley kicks out at 1. Franky feeling it right now, but he's got to turn around. He can't be that overconfident. You know who you're dealing with. And Dash Foley gonna take advantage. Backed up against the ropes is Franky. Now Foley forces him down off the bottom. Foley with a big stop. You cannot be overconfident when it comes to facing Dash Foley. This is a dangerous man. And now he's gonna go up top, all 6'6" of Dash Foley. Preparing to fly. No, Foley faked him out. Instead, he goes for the straight right. I like it from Dash Foley. Trying to be varied. Respect for Franky Omega's game. But Omega once again gets him into that cradle position now. Transitions him up to the top. Oh! Almost like an F5 from Franky Omega. I've rarely seen him pull it out before, and now Omega with the arm collector in. Foley reaches out for the ropes. That is the length. 6'11", but Franky got a little snap on the arm right afterwards. No! Franky was trying to absolutely steal it from Dash Foley as he snapped the arm back as he was forced to release. Now Franky, boot to the gut, and Franky, oh my! Franky Omega, we saw him do that very thing to Takahashi. Franky Omega has the win. What a flurry of offense from Franky Omega. That is massive for him. What a huge win. And Franky steps up to the challenge of Eddie Hernandez. Hernandez told him, you need to be better. This is the most complete match I've seen from Franky Omega in this tournament. So we'll leave you with the standings with 1 week remaining. Takahashi still safe and alone in first place. Adonis Carter, Leon Redgrave, hot on his trail. Or Adonis Carter, rather, hot on his trail. Leon Redgrave, Ryan Skinner, hot on Carter's. Tied for third. Over at the bottom, Dr. Plague still in sole possession of last place, and he needs a miracle to get out into the three-way dance at this point. And when you look at numbers 8, 9, and 10, it is an absolute mess. Dorian Bush still sitting with 9. Chris Alexa, Marlon Wright, both sitting with 6. So that's 9, 10, 11, still the same as it stands. Dorian would qualify for the three-way dance. Dash Foley now in trouble because he is at 12. Franky Omega, Raymond Church, each with 15, as well as Wolf Stormsong. So Foley could be in trouble based on the results. Next week, talk about moving day. Chris Alexa takes on Leon Redgrave. Franky Omega Jr. takes on Takahashi. Dr. Plague versus Raymond Church. Dash Foley versus Ryan Skinner. Adonis Carter versus Marlon Wright. And Dorian Bush versus Wolf Stormsong. What a week it is going to be. The final week of the first stage of Rookie of the Year is next Wednesday. 2 weeks from Battle at Broadway. And folks, it just gets better and better. We'll see you on Friday for Storm. Subscribe. We appreciate you.